Hey, buddy. Did you know it's heyday? Actually, yesterday was heyday. Hey, good boy. What are you doing? We have had some sunny weather today, rainy weather yesterday, sunny the day before. Pretty much par for the course these days. But we were able to get, excuse me, a load of hay brought in just in time for these buggers. This week's hay was sponsored by our good friend Dawn Cott, who is not only a sponsor, but one of our volunteers here. Comes help socialize the animals. We want to thank you, Dawn, very much for your sponsor this week. Dawn also sponsored a few other items that are on our list. That was awesome. Really appreciate that. Everybody's enjoying the hay. Hi, Molly. How you doing? Hi. Yeah, I'm petting you. She's like, do you have that bug spray? I just went through and put all the swat in their ears to try to stop some of the buggies from getting them, because the buggies are out in full force. And like we said last week, the trees were starting to bud, so let's take a look here. Let's see. Looks a little different around here now. As you can see, all of our maples are starting to really pop here with the weather. It's kind of a fun time of year because everything really changes. And these guys look a little behind. But anyway, Mama Bird is still sitting up there. I don't know if my camera's going to focus on her. Oh, she flew away. She had enough of me. So she's sitting on her nest up there. And Daddy Duck spent like most of the day yesterday here with us in the donkey pond, which is pretty cool. And he probably is spending an unusual amount of time because we think Mama Duck should be hatching her babies today, based on our guess of when she stopped coming around. And they are in a swamp wetland down way on the other side of a road, and over probably about I don't know, half mile, maybe a quarter mile away. They're over there, so I don't know that we're gonna see the babies right away, but we're really hoping that they bring them over to see us. I could see Ivan is ready to be let out of his spot, so let's walk over and get Ivan. Walk through this swampy mess here. Had it all cleaned out and all dried, and then the rains came again. Y'all done, Ivan? This is week 2 of Jenny Ferguson's sponsorship of senior grain. Hey, Teddy. I'm just feeding these old boys. Y'all done, buddy? You all done, good boy? Yeah. You being shy? Here, come here and say hi. Come here and say hi to everybody. You were laying down in the mud today? Come here, good boy. Good boy. Come here. I smell like SWAT because I was putting it in their ears because the flies are starting to bother him, so he might be having a hard time with that. We're going to follow our routine, so I'll go in, I'll grab his bowl of senior grain here from the ground. If the other ones spot that, they'll be over here in a heartbeat. That's pretty cute. If you're new here, you may not know this, but Teddy and Ivan came to us from a kill pen in Oklahoma, sight unseen. Some of you were sponsors, and I was going to say part of that rescue. And when Ivan is let out of his feed area, he goes right over to see his buddy Teddy, which is really cute. They are partners in crime. They don't go very many places without each other. Teddy's been having a tough week. Something's got him all stirred up. So he's been really worried constantly. Did you know that, buddy? Is that why you're hanging out with him? You're a good boy, aren't you? Yes, you are. I think part of Teddy's issues are we think he's probably having some sight issues. He can hear really well, And he gets funny. Even if we're out here and we turn our back, he'll grunt at us sometimes. We think it's because it looks different, so he gets a little turned up from that. But it's hard to tell. Can't really do a full exam on a donkey for their sight, so it's a little tough. But he's also closed into this area, which makes him nervous. He does not like the sound of squishy ground. Yep, I did it again, didn't I, buddy? I was demonstrating. You can see what he's got his ears forward like that. He's listening, really keeping an eye on things. So something's bothering him again. We have had a rabbit that has been hanging out here around our garden, which isn't awesome, but the garden's pretty much not ready anyway, so it's not a big deal. And part of having a rescue animal is you don't know what kind of trauma they've suffered, and you'll never know what's going to turn them up and what's going to scare them, because he's spent over 25 years of his life dealing with something else or other things. The other day there was kids playing about a mile from here. You could barely hear them, but he did, and it bothered him. So no idea what's going on. You can see some white in his ears. We put some swat in his too. His right ear he does not like touch, so he's basically just got swat on the outside, but every little bit helps. So I'm gonna walk away. Part of the therapy of these buggers is to be around them when they're uncomfortable and show them that you're okay. You can see how much rain we got. Our tractor tire marks are completely filled with water. But we can focus on the good, right? The trees are starting to finally suck some of this water out of the ground. We got about a quarter of the paddock cleared out until the rains came again, and then kept us from being able to run equipment out here. You were laying in the mud, weren't you, buddy? He's a good boy. Albert was funny. He was standing here at the feed pavilion today, just looking in, waiting for us to open it back up. We leave it closed between Teddy's and Ivan's breakfast and dinner. It's helping them keep their weight right. Hi, Cole. He's a good boy. So, funny fact about Cole, if you don't know, which you probably don't if you haven't been here, is he's very brave when it comes to fly spray and ear spray. He is terrified of a brush, so he doesn't get brushed. Hi, good boy. What are you looking for? Treats or something? Ivan gave up on keeping an eye on his boy. Came over. Who's that? Benjamin, the little troublemaker. 3 of them had a stick in their mouth today at the same time. Of course, you can't get a video of that because as soon as you come out, they come to the gate to greet you. They're very, very social. Molly's doing really well. She actually let some of our visitors brush her this past weekend, which is unheard of for Molly. Right, girl? You big fuzzy wuzzy bear? And Benjamin, you sneaking back in? There's a better spot over here. So we did their hay on Sunday. Started out, we were in the beginning of winter, it was Wednesday to Wednesday, and then they gradually, sometimes some weeks push past a little further and the hay goes a little bit further. It's always a week, but sometimes it's like a week and a half a day or a week and a quarter of a day, or I guess it's not always a week because it was a week and one day once, and that's what pushed that back again. But we try to not let them run out in the middle of the night because they'll tell us that they're out of food. And sometimes we bring it out a little early too, if we have to make sure there's hay out here. Hey, buddy. You're quibbing. So part of why he probably lost weight over the winter is he's not chewing as well. I don't know if you can see that really green mass there. He took a bite that he couldn't actually chew and process. That's what was happening with Teddy, and he basically was starving to death before we got him because he must have just been on whatever hay he could find or grass. Their coats looked really good, so we suspect they were on grass. But Ivan's got sugar issues, so we can't give him too much grass. But what happens is when their teeth get worn down because of old age, basically their teeth just get so rounded they can't grind the hay anymore. They either swallow it whole or they spit it out, called quitting. And that was how we knew something was wrong with Teddy when we got him.